An industrial robot picks up the component and places it in the correct position in the setting, which is installed in a C-frame by Arnold. The pierce clinch nuts are sorted into the correct position using a vibrating spiral conveyor. Any components incorrectly aligned drop back into the element hopper and then restart their journey through the vibrating spiral conveyor. Once the nuts have been sorted into the correct position, they drop into the power feeder. In this section of the system, the elements are separated by means of a slider. Using the so-called dynamic pressure method, the pierce clinch nuts are transported through the feed tube, which has a cross-section matched to the element to the punching head to be processed there. During the clinching processes, the nut automatically punches a pre-drilled in the sheet metal material. The offcut is pushed out through the hole in the die plate. The geometry of the lower forming die ensures that the material is pressed into the undercut of the nut and thus ensures it is held in the component. During the processing of self-clinching screws, each element is blown through the feed tube using compressed air. The screw first pauses in the parking position before being transported to the placement position by means of a slider, where it is pressed into the pre-drilled metal sheet. During the clinching process, the sheet metal material flows into the undercut and the toothing of the element and thus ensures optimum retention. The setting tools for processing the fasteners can be installed in a follow-on composite tool. In this case, several elements can be clinched simultaneously on each press stroke. The joining process is identical to the process presented in the previous video. The elements are arranged in the correct position in the sorting drum. Then, 4 elements are conveyed simultaneously into the feed tube on each stroke of the press. Here, too, the dynamic pressure method is used to transport the pierce clinch nuts from the feed device into the so-called multi-distributor, which is located in the follow-on composite tool. In the multi-distributor, the elements are split up from 1 onto 4 or even multiple feed paths and are subsequently supplied to the setting tool. At the end of the process, the sheet metal is cut off and a finished assembly leaves the follow-on composite tool.